Hi guys, I'm Sharna
I'm Chelsea, and we're your sub couple.
for a couple of gays. Thanks for having us.
Yay! So, some of you might know us from Two Baby Mamas. It's our other YouTube channel.
Yes, feel free to check it out. It's actually quite fitting with the
topic
we're talking about today.
It's family plans. So, what are our plans for family and kids and
Concerns that may come with that, with being a gay couple.
Yeah.
And eventually we started our channel because we were trying to conceive, and
Yes.
we actually
Our first video was when I fell pregnant.
Yeah, so we actually did get pregnant.
Yep. But unfortunately we don't have a baby because we lost our baby, so it was pretty sad. We actually would have been due last week.
Just this last week.
So
it's bittersweet doing this topic, but we're in a good place now, and
it was just an unfortunate. It was actually it was called a partial molar pregnancy. So Google
it's
that.
probably easier for you to Google it because it's a very rare.
Or there's videos on it about it on our channel as well, but.
Very rare thing that happened, and certainly not common, and it led our unborn baby to develop a syndrome that was not viable with life. So at 14 weeks,
we were pretty far along, so it was a bit traumatic, but and it sort of left us with not being. I sort of had cysts from ovarian cysts, and what else did I have? I can't remember now.
Just that the pregnancy was so rare.
Placenta.
And that the cysts can actually turn cancerous. So doctors recommend that.
It didn't turn cancerous.
No, we're all healthy and well. But the doctors actually recommend that you have once the unborn baby is removed, that from week to week for at least 6 months you have your blood work tested to make sure that your HGC levels have gone down, because this type of pregnancy actually shows very high levels of that even if there's no baby in the system. So it can actually indicate a lead towards cancerous cysts in the ovaries.
Those levels, just to give you an idea, just briefly, mine were at 1.5 million. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I think like the maximum
levels.
They would be when you're in the when they're the highest, when you're pregnant, I think it's like a couple of 100,000. So it's like, But anyway,
so that steadily dropped over, was it 3 months?
Yep. So I had to I was a bit of a pin cushion. I had to have a prick every week. So, but we're all good now. So we actually can start trying. So obviously, the topic is what are our family plans. So obviously we are wanting to try again and have a family. With this last pregnancy we had, you actually have to, after you've done your blood work, you basically have to wait 6 months to a year before you can try and conceive again. And it's kind of exciting because we're just at that point now. So we'll talk to you a little bit about what our plans are going forward. And the exciting plans of creating life again. So I am 35 this year, believe it or not. So and Sharna is 30. So
just a baby.
Yeah. She's my toy girl. Is that even a word? Anyway,
moving on.
So the reason why I got pregnant first was just purely due to age, just because my eggs are
they're approaching an
older.
age where they might decide to go off and do other things.
With their time. Take a vacation. So that will continue on that plan. So basically I will have the first baby, and then Sharna can have every other baby after that we decide. So we're probably
basically at this stage where, originally we were thinking 4, but we're seeing lots of our friends
we're not gonna
having their second babies now, and the struggles they are going through.
It looks
we would love to have two definitely, and if financially and emotionally we could have a third somewhere down the track, we would look at that.
We'll do that as well.
I suppose we should mention how we went about our
donor
family planning.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to find a donor. Sadly, in Australia, I know it's very different in the United States, but sadly in Australia, we do not have many options.
There's a huge shortage of donors through like the IVF.
Even through the proper clinics,
program.
I think on their system, they only have about 10 donors for you to choose from. And you actually, there's no photographic visual you can see. It's just all written summary and things like that, and we sort of thought about it. Obviously, that's a very expensive route to go, but
more so, we wanted to meet them, really, didn't we? We just kind of thought we wanted to have a bit more say in who the donor would be. Well, we don't really want them to be involved as such in the baby's life until the time's right, but we just wanted to meet them and make sure that they were.
Well, we did decide not to have a known donor, purely for the fact that, if Chelsea's carrying the baby and I'm still a mum also, I suppose if there was a known donor in the mix, I would say it would make me feel like less of a parent, less of a mother, the same as Chelsea, especially because I won't be carrying the child, so to have that bond and know
so that's probably one of our concerns. What part of the topic is what are our concerns? That's probably one of the concerns, isn't it, a little bit?
It is definitely for me, especially because I'm very, very, very maternal, and I have that hope that even though I won't carry the baby and the baby won't be biologically mine, that there's no doubt in my mind now that any child from Chelsea is just mine by default. It's just...
hopefully it's not going to be as naughty as what I was.
Yeah, that would be a problem. But, I suppose there's a worry that, because I won't have that hormonal surge that happens when a mother gives birth, that creates that bonding experience, will I have that intense bond for that baby?
You will. Because, Sharna, let me tell you, whilst I was deeply upset about losing our baby, I wasn't really bonded as much, whereas you were beside yourself. So you were already bonded to that baby.
I was bonded
from day one
when it was not even visible. So
I don't reckon that's going to be a problem. I don't think, but it is. You can. And even from when you give birth, like obviously I have that concern. But one thing we're going to do is we're going to use the same donor for all of our kids. So the donors agreed to that, which is awesome. So
it's wonderful.
That we will be all linked, which is nice.
Yeah. Also, we'd already chosen our hospital, obviously, last time, and we would continue to go through that same hospital, and they have a lot of same-sex couples come through their doors, and so they're very well equipped of dealing with two mothers and making, exceptions, like when the baby is born and put on Chelsea's chest. I can be there too and have that same experience. So they're very open to things like that and making it as normal as possible, that it's two mums in the delivery suite and not a mum and a father.
Yeah, so. Definitely. Oh, and we should say where we got our donor from. So what do you remember the site?
I can put the link below. Yeah. Basically, we went through a website. We don't tell a lot of people that because
it's not dodgy either.
But it sounds it,
doesn't
doesn't
it?
It sounds really dodgy.
We didn't actually tell our families that, so if they end up finding this video on here,
yes. Even on the site, they're really the selection not huge, and we were just so fortunate that we came across this great, wonderful guy that. Wanted to help out, young, very mature, but professional about the whole thing. He'd had all his blood work done, all STD testing, sperm analysis, everything. And and we've maintained contact with him through this entire process. We check in with each other. I
think the site's called Sperm Donors Worldwide.
I'll put it down below. And
if anyone wants to have
check it out. Obviously, if you're in the States, though, you I'm sure have a lot more resources. So basically, in Australia, we haven't quite evolved in that sense yet, where creating a child by donor sperm isn't that common.
No.
So the resources sadly aren't a lot.
And they've only actually just we live in Melbourne, Australia, in Victoria, and they've only just made it legal. I don't know how long ago, but not that long ago.
About a year, I think.
To make before they changed this law, say if I gave birth to the baby and I died, well, Sharna wouldn't even have any rights to the child at all. Like, my parents would have more rights than you. So which is ridiculous. Can't even imagine. So now that's actually changed, so that Sharna will be listed on the birth certificate as parent. Yeah. So that's something that's good. And also the other law that's changed is now that gay women can legally go to the sperm bank and get sperm. Yeah. And get pregnant. Like, you never used to be able to do that. It used to be
only infertile couples could do it. Basically, that's all changed now to accommodate this evolving
marriage
world.
Is not legal still. But domestic partnership is, so we can register our relationship, and I think Cat and Ames were talking about that in there. So I think it's similar in Victoria. We can have a domestic partnership, and we're a civil union, and we're actually getting married at the end of the year
in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But anyway, we must move on because time is ticking. So I suppose some of the concerns, we'll talk about that a little bit. I've heard a lot of you ladies talk about you're very passionate about and judgment and things like that, and rightly you should be. We've been extremely fortunate in that I don't think I've ever been subject to any form of homophobia. Everyone I know, everyone I've met, there has never been an issue, ever, to the point that I feel so normal. I wouldn't even know what concerns to have about my child in the future, other than normal parental things you think about for your kids. Is this the right school? We were talking the other day, obviously bullying would be an issue having two mums, but if it wasn't for that, it would be for something else.
Kids are going to get teased,
you know what I
no
mean?
matter what. So kids obviously can be cruel. So we know, and we know it is a concern a little bit. Like, we understand that they are going to be a little bit different.
We know we don't fit the norm, but I think it's a good thing that we're aware of it, but we don't make it a huge issue, because I think if we make it an issue within our family, then that brings up the allowance for other people to see it as an issue, and our child to see it as an issue. And I think that if we continue to live our lives as a normal family, raising normal children,
then it should be all good. And we've got, I think Cat and Ames touched on it as well, like about having male role models and stuff like that. So we'll make sure that
we've got great
provide
friends and
that for our kids.
Absolutely.
And I guess when we're choosing a school for our kids, we'll probably want to have a discussion with the school just to make sure that they're on board and supportive of our family dynamics, and that that, and perhaps just if there's it might be nice to have a school where there's some other gay families as well, just so that they're not the only ones. But it's becoming more and more common nowadays. We're finding, isn't it? So,
I suppose we've only got a minute left, so I suppose we should it goes quickly. We should quickly sum up and say, look, we can actively try and get pregnant now if we like. Basically what we're doing, we're just gathering as many funds as we can.
Cashola.
Probably December would be the latest we'll start trying. So between August and December,
we'll keep you posted.
To create a little baby.
Yes, and we'll post our other channel down below as well. So if you want to see some other videos of ours, we generally post every week also, but we will be subbing for a couple of gays for now. So hopefully you enjoy us, and please comment and we'll answer your questions. But if you want to check us out at Two Baby Mamas, please come and see us there as well.
Thanks so much for having us, guys.
See you.
Bye.